What's going on, guys? Today's video is gonna be on a very difficult writing test 2 question from Cambridge IELTS 15. Here's the question. In the future, nobody will buy printed newspapers or books because they will be able to read everything they want online without paying. To what extent do you agree or disagree? This question is actually very tricky because of this part. It already gives you a reason why nobody will buy printed books in the future. This is to say, if you agree, if you think nobody will buy printed books, you can't just say how amazing ebooks are so no one will buy printed ones anymore. You have to answer this part. You need to explain why people will be able to read everything they want online for free. And I think this is actually very, very difficult to argue about. So I don't think it's a good idea to agree with the question statement. Now let's try to disagree with it. If you disagree, it's very easy to come up with the first reason. You just talk about this part. It says they will be able to read everything they want online without paying. You say you disagree because you don't think they will be able to read everything they want online without paying. You don't think all ebooks will be free. So this is your first reason why you disagree. Not all ebooks will be free in the future. As for the second reason, of course you can talk about one of the benefits of reading paper books. But I really can't write a whole paragraph talking about paper books, talking about how some people love the smell or touch of a paper book. If you are like me, if you are not good at writing paper books, then you can only disagree with the second part of the question statement. This is to say, you agree that nobody will buy printed books in the future, but you disagree that this is because they will be able to read everything they want online without paying. So your first reason is still the same. Not all ebooks will be free. As for the second reason why you disagree, you can talk about the real reason why people won't buy paper books anymore. I mean, since not all ebooks will be free, this can be the reason why nobody will buy printed books, right? So what is the real reason? I think the real reason is that people can get ebooks super fast. I feel this is something I'm super confident to talk about. I have enough vocabulary to talk about it, so I will just use it as my second reason. Now, let's write the entire essay together. There are 4 paragraphs. The first one is your introduction. In your introduction, you first paraphrase the question statement. But how? First of all, you can use synonyms. For example, the question says buy. You can say purchase. It says printed newspapers or books. You say physical newspapers or books. It says online. You can say on the internet. It says without paying. You say for free. But what if you don't know these synonyms? Don't worry, you can change the sentence structure. How? A super easy way is to start your sentence with different words. For example, the question uses nobody to start its first clause. You can use there be instead. You can say in the future, there will be nobody purchasing physical newspapers or books. Later, the question says, they will be. You can change it using everything they want to start your second clause. Because everything they want to read will be available on the internet for free. So now we have the first sentence of our introduction, which is a paraphrase of the question statement. As you can see, we used 2 techniques here. We used the synonyms. We also changed the sentence structure by using different words to start our sentence. The second step is to state your opinion. Although I agree that print newspapers or books will not be in demand in the future, I disagree with the given reason for it. By using although, I'm telling the examiner this part is just a concession part. This is the focus of my essay. Now let's move on to body paragraph 1. First of all, you write your first reason why you disagree. Obviously, not all digital books and newspapers will be free of charge in the future. You then give your explanation. You simply explain why not all digital books and newspapers will be free in the future. This is because, for many organizations, their revenue from electronic publications supports their entire operation. Finally, you give an example. In your example, you give some details to support your explanation. Which part of your explanation is too vague? Can you give some details? I think revenue is sort of vague. How can digital content creators have revenue? Well, some of them charge a subscription fee. Support their operation is also sort of vague. Support what kind of operation? You can give some details like paying their employees rent and so on. So charging a subscription fee, paying their employees and rent, things like these are details. So here's the example. For instance, the New York Times charges a $1 monthly subscription fee for their digital articles. This charge allows them to pay their employees and other operating costs. I believe this practice will continue in the future because otherwise they will go bankrupt. Now we have our entire body paragraph 1. Body paragraph 2 is the same. You first write your second reason why you disagree. The real reason why people will stop buying paper books and newspapers, I think, is that they can get electronic editions in a matter of seconds. And then you explain why people can get ebooks super fast. I think this is actually very, very hard to explain. You just go to some website and read, that's it. There is nothing to say about it. In this case, you can make a comparison in your paragraph. You first say how getting a paper book can cost you a ton of time. After a new title is published, one has to go to a bookstore to buy the print version or wait for it to be delivered. And then you say the electronic version, in comparison, can be readily available to read in just seconds. Now, this part is quite vague. I'm going to use Kindle books as an example to support it. Don't just say you can get a Kindle book in only 1 second. Give some details. What exactly do you need to do to get a Kindle book? Well, you go to Amazon.com, click some buttons, and then the book will be in your Kindle reader right away, right? So Amazon.com, click some buttons in your Kindle reader right away. These are details. Here's the example. For example, to purchase a Kindle book, a person just needs to go to Amazon.com and click some buttons. The book will appear in their Kindle reader right away. Finally, let's write a conclusion paragraph. In your conclusion, you just state your opinion again. In conclusion, while I believe nobody will buy print publications in the future, I do not think this is because they will be able to read every piece of digital content they want free of cost for the above 2 reasons mentioned. That's it. The whole essay is going to be down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Every single week, we publish new videos like this to show you useful writing tips so that you can get a 7 or above on your writing test. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them, and I will see you on the next video.